Hopefully you were watching yesterday. Hopefully you were watching Ari Demkin. Ari Demkin has let everybody know that we need more shares on these videos. For the love of God, share this video. Please share. If you like what we do, please share this video because it is we need more shares. If we don't have more shares, then we may not be able to do these things as often. So hopefully you guys will continue to share these videos, and we can continue to have a lot of fun. And it can just be a blast. Yesterday we had so much fun with this old guy, this old bird. I'm Jerry Jones. So we're gonna do that a little bit more today. Look, there's nothing happening right now other than just bitching and moaning about what the Cowboys are or aren't doing, or why you do and don't disagree with it. Like, we have no new topics. There's nothing new. There's no updates. There's none. Nothing has happened. Literally no updates. I could invent one. How about I make something up? Do you want me to do that? Jerry Jones is hiring Houston Nutt to head up his head of scouting. Like, what do you want? What do you want? He has a soft spot for the Arkansas, the Arkansasiers of the world. Welcome to the show. I'm TJ Carpenter. Please share your support for this show by sharing this goddamn video. That would help us tremendously. Let's see here. Chris shared. Charles says, "What's up, TJ?" Let's see what else we got. Charles Grau, who, by the way, Charles was kind of new to the show yesterday. I think Charles, weren't you? You were a little new to the show yesterday. Thank you very much for hopping on. Rick, what's up, my brother? Rick is in the house. Wayne, TJ for head coach. Yes. I would be an amazing head coach. I would, because even if we sucked, which I would let the coaches coach. That would I would definitely be the CEO type of coach. CEO type. I would not be an X's and O's guy. I would let somebody else do the X's and O's. I would encourage them to do a particular kind of X's and O's, but the actual real meat and potatoes of an offense, I would leave to someone else. Also, I would leave the meat and potatoes of a defense to someone else. I would leave just coaching in general. Like, if there's, the guy who's holding, like, the helmet on the end of a stick that's supposed to, like, initiate a player in practice to swing around some tackling dummy or something like that, those are the kinds of things that I would leave to the professionals. What I am good at is talking to the media. I would do that. I would say things. I'd come up with just the most ridiculous. I would have fun with it. The Cowboys would be way funner under my tutelage, under my regime. We would have a lot of fun. And I think that the players would play better because of that. I'm a motivator, a great motivator. No clapping, though. I may occasionally clap, but I'm also, I'm going to smack some butts. I'm a butt slapper. It's the way I was in high school. It's the way I am now. It's the way I'm going to be when I'm old. Butt slapper. So that's my number one coaching philosophy. As we all know, Jason Garrett's number one coaching philosophy is clapping. And my number one coaching philosophy, whoosh, butt slap. So that's going to be my move. Let's see. Chris says, I was getting hostile on Ari's show. It was getting hostile on Ari's show. Why is Ari's show so hostile for you guys? I don't understand why this is. We have so much fun on this show, and yet no one... Is anybody sharing this video? That's probably why, because Ari's fed up. He wants to see audience growth. He wants to see those regular season numbers in the off season. And I'll be honest, right now we're not quite getting there. Look. You guys know my philosophy on this. I am pretty transparent when it comes to what we want, what we're trying to accomplish with this show, what we're trying to accomplish with what we do. So please share this video. Share it more. Share it to groups. If you're like, I'm a member of a bunch of different Dallas Cowboys groups. We share content to those groups. Hopefully it's stuff people like and enjoy. That's why they keep letting us post it there. We cross-post to a lot of pages to try to reach you guys. But here's the thing: is if people don't give us the time of day, it's probably not because they watch the show and they don't like it. It's probably because they watch the show and they're not familiar with it. They don't know who we are. They don't know who you are. They don't know who Ari is. So they don't really understand it. It's not, and I don't fault anybody for just scrolling through a video. Like I do that on Facebook too. But the thing here is that like we're only going to grow if you want us to. And if you want us to grow, if you want us to keep doing these shows, if you want us to be a voice out there in Cowboys coverage and Cowboys opinions and Cowboys whatever, share the freaking video. That's the only thing that's going to keep this thing going. Joe says, shared. Charles, no, been watching for about a month now. Thank you very much, Charles. And you shared. Thank you. Michael says, share this or TJ will eat your firstborn while wearing a JJ head. I loved that, and I loved you guys' reaction to it yesterday. The Jerry Jones face. I'm an Arkansas boy, and I just want everybody to know that this is my favorite show, and share this video to all of your friends. And I don't know what kind of things we really need to get done with the Cowboys this off season, but I want you to know we're all in on winning. And winning is exactly what I want to do all the time. When I'm not getting shit-faced and rubbing strippers' face in my genitals, I'm focused on winning. But I don't have a lot of time left because I'm getting old. I'm not going to be around forever, which is why old Steven's taken over a lot of things. But let's be honest, he's not as great as I am. He's never going to be as great as old Pappy. Pappy Jones is always going to be in charge until I die. But even then, I'll probably still haunt you from the grave, and you'll be reminded of my greatness and how the Cowboys. All right, that's it. All right, I lost it. Okay, we'll try that every once in a while. I don't know. I ran out of material. Carrie says, funny like the guy who runs behind McVay to keep him off the field. Chris, subject of Dak riles things up in Ari's chat. Sean, TJ is the top blue star on your shirt mourning, honoring the Confederate States. Is the top star one, does this one honor the Confederate States? I don't know. Is this offensive? Is my shirt offensive? Look, this is one of those things that it's like, okay, it says Arkansas on it. It's got stars. It's red, white, and blue. Kind of reminds me of the Confederate flag. And then I remind people, stars and then the colors red, white, and blue also represent the American flag. I don't know if this star represents the Confederacy or not. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not sure about that, though. I'm not even sure if the numbers are corollary to anything. I know it's in the shape of a diamond because diamonds are... Arkansas is the only state in America where you can get naturally occurring diamonds. There's actually a diamond mine in Arkansas, which is why it's that shape. But, yeah. I don't know. It's just the state flag. I don't think it has any ties to the South, although Arkansas is in the South and was a member of the Confederacy. So that could absolutely be a possibility. I have no idea. Let's see. Wayne, shit, Ari is getting over 100 viewers. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Wayne. Yeah, Ari's killing it. Ari's way more popular than I am. And he doesn't like it that you guys don't give him better questions. And he hates answering the same questions over and over and over again. I will do it because I'll give you a different answer every time. My opinions change all the time. Sometimes they're not even my opinions. Sometimes they're the opinions of other people. Sometimes they're opinions I've made up. Sometimes they're non sequiturs. Sometimes they're real. I think you basically kind of have to know. You have to know me in order to really know which one's which is why I cannot be labeled. I refuse to be labeled. I am not. I know a lot of you view me as a straight white male, cisgendered, and whatnot, but I am not. I am an individual, and I am a free thinker, and I will say things that you've never even thought of. That's what I promise you, is that the things that come out of my mouth will have never entered your brain before. And that's really all I can offer. I can't offer you insight. I can't guarantee that this is going to be an insightful show every day. I can't guarantee that. I also can't guarantee you that I'm going to have knowledge relevant to the thing that you want to know. I can't guarantee that. I can't. As we discussed yesterday with Cowboys coverage, it's all bullshit. Like, if you think Todd Archer is running around just like chasing leads and like tailing people to figure out where they're going and what kind of strategy and who's doing, like, no, that's not how this works. It's not. He may have the number of a couple of agents. I have the number of a couple of agents. You know what agents are going to tell you? What they want you to know, or what they want you to say. And so they may mislead you. That's not actual real inside info. That's not real inside info. And the real inside info that you might have access to isn't really relevant. It's not pertinent to anything. It's meaningless. The only kind of information you're going to get from a source that's inside of an organization is something that you don't actually need. You may think that you need it, but other than like injury status and we kind of already know where people stand. Like, I've told you what the DeMarcus Lawrence camp is right now, and I've told you what the Cowboys camp is right now, and I've told you my opinion that DeMarcus Lawrence has all the leverage because of the surgery issue. Because once they put the franchise tag on him, the second that he signs it, he can have surgery. So he's not going to sign it until training camp, until the deadline. He's not going to sign it until the dedeadline. But right at the deadline, he signs it, and then all of a sudden, moving forward, in fact, he may wait until the season starts and sacrifice, like, I don't know, I think it's like maybe $500,000 during training camp to skip training camp and then sign his franchise tender right before the season starts and then get paid most of the $20 million the Cowboys would then owe him for only playing maybe 6 games. If that, and that's given that his recovery timeline is the ideal recovery timeline, and then also that's not taking into consideration the amount of time that it would take for him to get into game shape. So it's like, basically, the Cowboys, once they committed to the franchise tag, they committed to paying DeMarcus Lawrence to not play for a season. Smart. So smart. The Cowboys, smartest organization in football. That's a good question. Do you think the Cowboys are smart? Let's start there. Let's get at a really basic level, basic opinion, blanket statement. Are the Cowboys a smart organization? Yes or no? Let's see. Michael says, Ari was dissing your JJ impression. You know what? He doesn't know anything about Arkansas. I'm from Arkansas. Now, I don't sound like I'm from Arkansas, but I have my accent. My accent this is how I normally talk. And I don't know why but every once in a while, I get a really thick Southern accent naturally when I talk with my father or when I'm playing or watching football. That's basically it. Or when I'm kind of relaxed around the house. I think as a husband, I'm kind of embodying my father, who's a very good husband. My mom and dad have a wonderful relationship. So I kind of like, channel him a little, So when I'm talking to my wife, sometimes I'll get a little bit of a Southern accent. You can pick up on it a little bit in my speech, but for the most part, I sound, Midwestern. I am the generic, I have the voice and cadence of anyone who's ever read the news for a living, which, granted, that's what I have, but I think that has most to do with the fact that my mom's side of the family is from Ohio, and so I'm pretty heavily influenced by my grandfather, who's a minister, and so I heard him do a lot of public speaking growing up, and he doesn't have an accent either. So that's probably where it comes from. Sean says, Crater of Diamonds. Yep. Sean says, yeah, the top star but the governor wants to change it. I got you. Okay. LOL, welcome to off-season football talk. Yes, that's right. Off-season football talk. We're talking about whether or not the Arkansas state flag is racist. Which I've never looked at this and thought, man, Arkansas, they're going to regret that someday. I've never associated that with that, And like, that's one of the weird things about our culture is that you really only associate things with what's already on your mind. So if you look at the Arkansas state flag and think racism, it's probably because you're thinking about racism a lot. I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's probably a little bit of a projection, regardless of what this means. I'm from this state, and I didn't know what that meant. So clearly, yes, this Arkansas has an agenda to advance the Confederacy and everything that the Confederacy stands for. By putting this, they endorsed it. In public schools, they make sure you know that top blue star is Confederate and racist. It's the most racist star of any star. I don't know. Like, yeah, support the blue star on the Arkansas. If this star, they could change the state flag of Arkansas, and I guarantee you this, no one would notice. They could just change it and not tell anybody and be like, yeah, we just kind of unilaterally decided we needed to change it. We wanted it to be private. We didn't want to make a big deal out of it. We're just like, just remove a star. And then they remove the star, and then it's like, okay, well, it looks a little off balance now because you don't have a star up there. But other than that, it's fine. Like there's nothing that's going to change the fact that nobody gives a shit. Like nobody cares. All right. That was a little bit of a tangent. I apologize. Sean says Ari is Bert, TJ is Ernie. I'll take that. Is Ernie? See, here's the problem. I don't remember enough about Sesame Street to comment on that one way or the other. But I will say, is Ernie the rabble rouser? I feel like Bert was the stern, serious one, and Ernie was the happy one. That's me. I'm the happy one. Let's see. Rick says, I about pissed my pants laughing when I heard. When you heard, so a turkey hawk slammed into Stephen A. Smith's office window at ESPN. That's right. I saw that story. And immediately, Max Kellerman called that turkey vulture racist. For slamming into Stephen A. Smith's window. Let's see here. Rick says, have to be pretty smart. You made the Cowboys a global brand worth more than any other sports franchise. It's true. I did that. Michael says, is that any reflection on a foghorn leghorn chicken hawk? I don't know, but I do think that if you wanted to know the kind of the aura of my father is like foghorn leghorn if Foghorn Leghorn were also an astrophysicist. That's my dad. My dad's a civil engineer, but he has like an encyclopedic knowledge of mathematics, which is why I had to take harder than normal math classes in college, even though it had nothing to do with my major. But yeah, that's that's my dad. My dad's like Foghorn Leghorn if Foghorn Leghorn were a capable, competent civil engineer. Let's see. Carrie says, I thought TJ was Ben Affleck with a beard. Is that enough? Is that a compliment? I don't know how people feel about Ben Affleck. Chris, aren't Bert and Ernie lovers? That is left up to interpretation, Chris. You know what? I'm guessing, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, that Sesame Street's motives when creating Bert and Ernie were just to show that they're friends who live together, and they talk about numbers and the alphabet, and to educate children on how to have a friend, how sometimes friends have difference. The Odd Couple. That's kind of what Bert and Ernie are based off of. Is the Odd Couple. So that was an archetype of the time. So I don't think that they were there was no gay agenda with Bert and Ernie. I don't think puppets have, or Muppets in this case, have a sexuality. Which, also a liberal agenda. If you don't have a sexuality. I think they were desexualized because they're for kids. I think that's why they were. Oh boy. Now we're getting into a whole other conversation, which is good. As the numbers on this live chat continue to plummet, should I pull an Ari and just say, hey man, if we don't get more shares on this video, I'm hightailing it out of here. We need to get up to 50 shares. Where are we at right now? I don't even know. I don't have a counter like Ari does. Where is this? let's see here. What is the see? I only have 20 live viewers right now. Not that I don't value the 20 of you who are watching us live right now. I just don't know what our numbers are. Got to get those numbers up. Gonna have to get them up. 24 shares. That's way better than normal. Normally I get like 6. So this is new territory for me. We've gotten more shares and less viewers. That's great. It's always a big confidence builder. Let's see here. Michael, so your dad is the Count then, right? He is. Here's my dad. If you want to know anything about my upbringing, here's something that you need to know. My dad, the first time I ever worked for my dad, I had a summer job as an assistant on the land surveying crew. And the very first thing he said is, you're going to be making minimum wage. And the only reason I'm paying you minimum wage is because I can't pay you less. And that's what he told me. So that was number one. That's the number one thing you need to know about my dad. The number two thing that you need to know about my dad is that he also made me do calculus by hand for a long time. Because he says, you need to know what's happening inside that calculator before you can use the calculator. So I had to do it all by hand for a while, which is hard. I don't know if you know anything about calculus, but it's not easy. It's not easy to understand. It's not easy to it's not easy to do, and it's just math to confuse people. That's what I call calculus. It's not differential equations hard, but it's related to differential equations. I would say that it's anytime you have a grid of numbers that you have to then multiply by another grid of numbers, things are going to get hairy. It's like, why can't we make this simpler? Because matrices, Why do I have to do this by hand, Dad? Because you need to know. That's how I was raised. And now I'm doing this. So clearly, all of those hardworking lessons paid off. Sean says, one of the writers said he wrote them as gay, but did that because he was gay. Sesame Street then told him he didn't create the characters. Shut the fuck up and have a happy day. All right. Chris says they dropped all the charges against that Smollett character. They did. I don't know any of the details as to why, but here's my question on the Jussie Smollett thing. If we're going to talk about Jussie Smollett, the charges being dropped, all I want to know is why the charges were dropped and what are they going to do about all the evidence that they had? Because they released like footage of the two guys buying a rope at some kind of general store that was like right around the corner from where the crime happened. They were dressed exactly like the people who were assaulted Smollett. And so like if they didn't do it and they're innocent and the guys, and it's Smollett didn't orchestrate it, either those guys are guilty and they did it on their own accord for not being paid money or whatever. They were trying to extort him, which there's no evidence of that. Or now they're saying that somebody else did it and that Smollett is innocent. And also, too, the fact that all this is happening in Chicago. I know that, like, if you want a hot take, here's your hot take on the Jussie Smollett thing. Smollett is getting off because this is Chicago, and Chicago has a lot of liberal Democrats in it, and they're taking a bath right now in the public eye, and they want to win, so to speak, and it has nothing to do with justice, which is weird because I feel like basically the conclusion of both of these cases, the Trump thing and the Smollett thing, is we can't prove it, but we're pretty sure. But the law requires proof, not pretty sure. And that's good. It's good that the law has those standards, because if they didn't have those standards, we'd be killing people all the time for nothing, which we kind of do already. But I think that's what's going on with this whole Chicago Smollett thing. Sean says, my dad can beat up your dad. No, really, my dad is dead. I'm sorry, Sean. Socks for shares. Get with it. Chris says, I was terrible at math in school. Crystal says, I love Trig and Cal. I don't know what's wrong with you, Crystal, but you need to have your head examined. Michael, your show is cool because we just talk about whatever the hell comes up, whether Sesame Street or Cowboys. We just go with the flow. I know that's great. That's great, Michael. And I'm hopeful that if we do make some of the shifts that we're doing here at Phantom right now, that you guys will stick with the show, because I would like to maybe make it a little less about the Cowboys and a little more about what you guys want to talk about, regardless of what day it is or regardless of any of that. But our numbers are low, so that's our problem here. I love the audience that we have, and I think Michael and Chris and Sean and Rick and Jenny and all of the regulars that we have, Andy, G. I'm forgetting a few, I'm sure. Jenny's always in. Carrie's in a lot. We've got James, who's a top fan. Charles, who's been watching for a month. I mean, we've got a lot of really great fans, and I think that. I think that it's great. It's really, really great. Wayne saying down to 20 viewers. And it's probably because I'm not talking about Cowboys right now. But what the fuck do you want me to talk about with Cowboys? What do you want me to do? What do you want to talk about? Give me a Cowboys topic, and I will talk about it, and we'll do that right now. Aldo, also, don't want to forget Aldo. Jenny, I think it's just one share, Michael. What's he saying? Aldo, love your show, bud, and it's all good, talking about Cowboys. Chris, I love the live broadcasts. When are those happening again? The draft? We might do something around the draft. We're not quite sure yet about what we're going to do with the live stuff. Chris is here. He's late, but he's here. Wayne, a hum? Were you clearing your throat there, Wayne? What are you saying? Michael, oh, okay. Thanks, Jenny. Chris, so we already read that. Rick, I wish I would have found out about Phantom before I did. Only caught the last couple of weeks of the season. Right. Yeah, I think going into next season, it should be pretty interesting once we get to football again. But right now we don't really have a whole lot to talk about with the Cowboys, because the Cowboys aren't giving us anything to talk about that's meaningful. So we can continue to have the same conversations if you want to. Carrie says, got a notification that the president was doing a live presser and stayed here. You the man, TJ. Wow, Carrie, the president's talking? What's the president talking about? Yeah, Chris says dog barking. That's my dog. He is here only in the event that we need to sacrifice him, blood sacrifice. I want to be very clear. It's not just a sacrifice. It's a blood sacrifice. I'm going to blood sacrifice my dog if we don't share this video more. We don't have enough videos. We don't have enough shares yet. Rick's sharing. We got a lot of good shares. Yeah, so that's my dog. Let's see, Michael. Rick says, Sean, does the dog bite? No, he doesn't, actually. He's never bitten anyone. He is literally the nicest dog you'll ever meet. He's an amazing dog. He's a really amazing dog. He's stupid, but he's an amazing dog. There's a charity here in Denver called the Dumb Friends League, and it's a perfect name for a charity for dogs, for placement of dogs in shelter homes and things like that. It's a really great charity. But I love the name, Dumb Friends League, because they're just dumb friends. I've tried to explain this to people before. Part of the reason why we love animals so much is because they're dumb. Their stupidity is a part of their cuteness, because it's just like there's a naivety to animals like that that we just love. And the same thing with kids. Like, part of the reason why we think babies are cute is because they're so stupid. They're just so dumb, and they don't know anything. Like, children's stupidity is adorable to us. It adores us to them. Aldo, when the season starts, will you have a lot more to talk about? Aldo, you just shared you, bud. Thank you very much, Aldo. Chris, put him in front of John Elway. He'll bite him. Sean says, I shared don't kill to Pupperoo. Sacrifice Dax Demon Dog instead. Yeah, what was up with that? Dak's dog bit some guy's hand and they didn't put him down? What was the deal around that? I'm not even entirely sure what happened with that. Let's see. Chris, mock draft season. Mock draft season. You guys want to do a mock draft? Something I freaking hate. Draft 2019. Blah, blah, blah. Draft 2019 Cowboys. Let's see what comes up on the Googleator. 2019 NFL mock draft roundup. Here's who experts have the Dallas Cowboys selecting according to the Dallas News. Sports Day. You going to kick me off this site, Sports Day, because you think I've reached my article limit? Yep, there it is. Just got kicked off. Damn it. All right, well, you know what I wish? I wish that we would have Google just get rid of those. Blogging the Boys. 2019 mock draft roundup. Look to defense for the Cowboys, number 58 pick. Oh, wide receiver. Yeah, SB Nation has them picking Deebo Samuel out of South Carolina. He's a good receiver at 58. I don't know why they would go receiver first. I think their offense is fine. I would go defense. NBC Sports Washington has them taking a defensive end. Charles Omenihu out of Texas. Let's see. DraftWire has them taking Omenihu as well. Rigos Rag has them taking. Is that a Washington? Is that? Yeah, I think Rigos Rag has to be a Redskins blog, right? Dallas Cowboys, Alabama edge rusher Christian Miller. Let's see. Fantasy Pros have the Dallas Cowboys selecting Jerry Tillery, defensive tackle out of Notre Dame. I think the defensive line is probably where they're going to go. They've taken so many hits on what was, I think, the best unit on their team last season at defensive line. You're going to have to replace those guys because right now you have Taco. And Taco sucks. Sorry to all the Taco fans out there, but Taco is dog shit. So if Taco's terrible, and he's your only defensive lineman right now, Tyrone Crawford might get suspended. Not Greg Hardy. Gosh, why am I drawing a blank on the freaking guy's name? Anyways, they've got another guy who's suspended. I'm just drawing a blank right now, guys. I have no idea why. I'm having a brain fart there. And then David Irving is retired because of the same thing that the other guy was suspended for. DeMarcus Lawrence isn't going to play next year whether you pay him or not. He's not playing for you next year unless you pay him a franchise offer sometime in the next week. So you're going to have to get that done before Friday unless you want to pay DeMarcus Lawrence to not play for you. And pay him a lot of money. If you want to waste $20 million in salary cap on a player who's not playing for you, I would say that's a bad strategy. Especially if the whole process results in you paying him $20 million, him not playing for you, and the next season him not signing a long-term deal with you either, and then playing for somebody else. Like, that's even worse. So yeah, probably defensive end. Let's see here. Draft Tech has them taking a safety, Nasira Adderley out of Delaware. CBS Sports has them taking Jonathan Abram, safety out of Mississippi. And Stripe Hype has the Cowboys taking Jonathan Abram as well out of Mississippi State. So those are the guys that they're looking at right now. Michael says, smarter than some people I know, unfortunately. Jenny, dumb enough to give us unconditional love. They are. They're dumb enough to give us unconditional love, and I love my dog. He's actually right under the table right now. Albert, come here, buddy. His name is Albert. Come here, buddy. Come here. Yeah, here he is. Every once in a while, he winds up on the screen. There he is. Oh, look at Albert. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody heard you. They heard you earlier. Yeah. So this is my dumb friend. He's the dumbest friend I have, but he's one of the best friends that I have. This is one of those sad things. I never thought I would become puppy person, You know, person who is irrationally attached to their dumb animal, but that's me. I am irrationally attached to this guy. Ugh, there you go, buddy. Okay. Bit a lady's fingertip off. That's what Dak's dog did. Put Dak down. Aldo is saying put Dak down. Not Dak's dog, Dak. Wayne says, who is our next head coach going to be? Sean Payton. Does that answer make you feel good? Because it's meaningless. I could tell you anything. So I'm going to pick the name that makes you feel the best. And I'm going to say Sean Payton. And that's why I'm saying that. For no other reason than I think that's what you want to hear. Let's see. Chris says, no, I just said that because Kuiper is on my TV right now. Aldo Davia said, oh, wait, he'll do that when the rush comes. Dak is, oh, he'll put him down. Gotcha. Charles says, Sean Payton. Sean, my Dak's dog bit my penis. That's why it's so small. That's a great line, Sean. That's good. Very rarely do I get I get a real laugh. You can get a real laugh out of me. That's good. Chris says O'Menihue is a beast. I know he is. They're all good. They need a defensive lineman, though. I think we're pretty sold. I think everybody's pretty sold on defensive line being the place they need to go, especially given the fact that they didn't get Sue. They're probably not getting Quinn. They haven't added any defensive line, and they've lost at least 3 guys and possibly more with Tyrone Crawford. Randy Gregory. Gosh, Greg Hardy, Randy Gregory. I guess it's the Greg part. Yeah, Randy Gregory. Thank you, guys. Randy Gregory is going to be suspended. So you got Gregory suspension, David Irving retirement, Tyrone Crawford potential suspension. So that's 3. And then you've got DeMarcus Lawrence, who's not going to play for you at this point. So that's 4. You kidding me? You gotta fix it. Let's see. Allo says, nice dog. Albert and Ernie. That's nice, Michael. Laugh my ass off doing it now just to piss people off. Let's see. Jenny says, dumb question. Does the tag money count against the cap? It does. Dogs are awesome, bro. Chris, Rick says that. Chris says, the white stripe looks like a tie. It does. Sean, dumber than Ari? Come on now. He is dumber than Ari. Ari's smart. Ari is a smart guy. He really is. And I want you to know how smart Ari is. He's so smart. And here's how I know he's smart. He brought me in to be a part of Phantom. That's how I know Ari's smart. Joe, I'm a dog lover to very loyal animals. Sean, love you, Ari. If you are watching, don't ban me. Carrie, Taco has a nice tri-colored pit bull named Taco. Wayne, nah, I wasn't thinking Sean Payton, LOL. Sean, my wife laughs at my micro penis all the time. That's unfortunate, Sean. I wish you the best. I really do. You and your micro penis. Don't feel bad about it. You know, look, here's what I've found out about love and life and happiness, which is that there's some kind of kinky sex out there for everybody. So if you've got a micropene, or if you have a larger than normal whatever down there, or if you don't have anything down there, or you know, like some people just like watching, you know, some people like being tortured sexually. Some people like torturing sexually. Some people like feet. Some people like they like doo-doo and pee-pee. It's not, I don't know why, but some people, it's for some people. Some people like grannies. Some people like, you know, people who aren't legally old enough. And that's not good. But my point here is that there's a wide array. My point here is that there's a wide tapestry of humanity represented. And that wide tapestry of humanity all wants to fuck. So there's something for everybody out there. Go on Pornhub and figure out what your category is, because there's something there for you. Let's see here. Daniel, not in football, he isn't. What's this up to? Oh, Chris says Kuiper has Denver picking a tight end and Drew Lock going to Miami. Many others have Lock in Denver. Yeah, I think Lock in Denver makes sense. He's tall. He does have tiny little hands, but other than that, he's pretty good. I thought Drew Lock was going to be a much higher draft pick than most people do. But I would say this: if Drew Lock's available at 58, if I'm the Cowboys, I would consider it. I would consider Drew Lock at 58 if I'm the Cowboys. Daniel says, not in football, he isn't. Neil, Jerry needs to get his tank deal done already. Agreed. Jenny says, too much information, Sean. Yeah, she doesn't want you talking about your micro penis. And Jenny wants to shame you and your tiny peen. Daniel, who's left in defensive lineman? Neil says, eunuch. Rick, is it not asinine to think that Gregory won't be suspended beyond week 1? It's not. I don't know if this is because you can get a 1-game suspension depending on what the violation is. Like I remember Tamba Hali got suspended for 1 game for a violation of the substance abuse policy, and it was because he was stopped at a traffic stop, not arrested, but given a citation for possession, which I think is actually, if you are in a state where marijuana is illegal still, I think that is a much better, like just give him a ticket, man. If it's like whatever the fine is, and it should be probably like, I don't know, $35 at this point. It should be a fairly low level fine. But he got a fine, which is weird because, like I saw Tom Hali not get arrested by a police officer and be given a citation for possession in that moment. And he got a suspension. He had to go to court and all that stuff, but he wasn't arrested. I saw Dwayne Bowe, same team, same community, different player, different police officer, get arrested and taken to jail for the night because of the same thing. And sometimes it has to do with amounts of possession, but same situation, different results. A lot of it comes down to who the police officer is. And if the police officer is on your side, chances are that your suspension from the NFL could potentially be significantly lower than it is if the police aren't on your side. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Joe says, I think Jason Garrett has a small penis and that's why he claps a lot. Michael, sure there's a girl with a micro vag out there somewhere for him. Wayne says, breaking news, DeMarcus Lawrence signs $24 million a year for 5 years with $60 million guaranteed. Is that right? Did that just happen? All right, we may have breaking news here. I may have to hop off here and then hop back on with a breaking news alert because 26 of you, no offense, not enough. So we may have to redo this. But let me just confirm these details. If this is happening live right now, I would definitely reshare this to all the groups if we can get this up there. So let's see here. Sports. Let's see. I see Conor McGregor. Let me just type into Marcus Lawrence. Let's see, 36 minutes ago, Jason Garrett on DeMarcus Lawrence. We want you to make more money. The Joneses want you to make more money. But having said that, we want to be part of a team that can compete for a championship. And in doing that, you have to have discipline under the salary cap. That was 36 minutes ago from David Moore. I do not see anything on here about a report. I don't see. I don't see anything important on that. Okay. All right, guys. I'm out. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Later, y'all.